So I came back to do law school in 1990. And I have a cousin, you know, it's called Olisa. Olisa had been here for a while and was doing a TV show called Video Vibes or something on Saturdays. And I kept trying to force him to play hip hop, which he eventually began to play a bit of it. One of the guys I met in this time was Jimmy Jatt.
I started out as an aspiring artist. I started out as a rapper, you know, just a guy getting into rap music.
Jimmy, to me, is almost the first entry point for a lot of the street music you began to hear 15 years later even. Because Jimmy, for years, used to feed Olisa when he was on radio with music that local artists were dropping off and demos. And Olisa on Cool FM back in the 90s, we played a lot of this music on radio. Silverbird on Rhythm FM and AIT and OGBC, I think were the most important stations as well.
In the 80s, we formed the Pretty Busy Boys. And from the Pretty Busy Boys, we released our first album in 1990, our first album. We were rappers, and at the same time, we were ragamuffin. We do reggae music too, and you know.
So the closest thing you had that was working at that time was reggae. You know, so you had all them Raskimono, Majek Fachek, Mandators, and all the likes.
Outside Lagos, from Ogun State, down to the east, north, west, and south, we were very popular.
I set up a company called Storm in 91. A Clapperboard is launching, which is the first private TV station in Nigeria. And we pitched them a couple of TV shows, Clapperboard Weekend Raps, you know, and they took the shows. And we just get kids to come and audition, right, before you get to go on air. And Jimmy Jatt was the show DJ.
Jimmy Jatt, Obi Asika, Olisa Adibwa, they were all Clapperboard. Pretty Busy Boys have been existing before Clapperboard. Now, a member of our group that left our group went to join Junior.
They used to be Junior and Jerry. You know, Jerry eventually finished high school and left the country, so it was going to be Junior and Jimmy. But I wasn't too keen about being an artist anymore at that time. I started DJing.
Jerry left Nigeria for the US. And now, that member of our group, Pretty, now left our group and joined Junior. He became Junior and Pretty.
Honorable Double Chief Otumba Dayo Adeneye, aka D1.
Kenny and D1, it's quite interesting because when we were in London, we used to hear their names. There was a seminar in London where D1, you know, some kind of media thing at Obalende Suya, so we're all seated. There are different people from different places, tourism, and D1 was there. So I was seated like across the table from him. And I don't know if he'd seen me before, maybe in my films or whatever, but obviously I knew who he was. So I kind of like looked at him like just giving him that eye like D1, and he gave me that golden smile, that D1 smile. And he acknowledged my greeting. So we kind of like D1, yeah.
I came back with my partner and my friend Kenny Ogungbe in the late 90s to help found Ray Power and of course AIT subsequently, and delved into the entertainment business. We always knew that Nigerians like good things as long as it's packaged and given to them in a manner they can easily digest and it's palatable. Nigerians will agree. We like good things. We like good cars. We like good clothes. We like good food. We also like good music.
But I must say this, the way you package the local content, you package it as if it was
foreign.
You see, Kenny and D1, for me, everything that I did earlier on TV, I modeled my strategy on Kenny and D1. Abass was the Kenny's and I'm D1. And we used to do things together. We used to be on screen together and everything until I moved into the background.
A lot of people used to come to me and say, like, almost looking for me to have a quote, to diss them in some way. And I always used to say, look, at the end of the day, I respect these guys. But of course, I always looked at it from a different perspective. I looked at it like, listen, they've got an easier ride than almost everybody because they're inbuilt inside a media organization from day one.
When we first came in those days, it was the usual, I play Michael Jackson, Tupac, Shakur, or what have you. But we realized, wait a minute, this is not how long are we going to keep doing this? This is not, how are we going to change our own society and change? And the opportunity came before we even knew it, before our very eyes, through those young men called the Remedies.